Hello and welcome to Gorilla and the Geek, the podcast for sweaty nerds by sweaty nerds. My name is Kyle from Geeks Weekly, and I'm joined, as always, by my good pal John the Ginger Gorilla. John, how you doing for episode 21?
I'm doing really well, but also kind of sad, right? We got a series coming to an end, and you hate when things come to an end like this. You know, probably better than most people, with video games, TV shows, I have a problem finishing things because I don't like when they come to an end.
Same
Kyle
here.
still Kyle still asks me if I finished Spider-Man. I have, but he still, because originally I played most of the game, got very close to the end, and then just didn't finish it for a while because I didn't want it to end. Um, and the same was with this, but obviously I had to watch this because of the fact that we're doing a podcast about it. So it's kind of bittersweet, man. Bittersweet.
Yeah, so fun fact, I had said that I've watched this show. This might be the fifth time I've watched it all the way through. However, I realized late this week that this is my first time watching the series finale. Didn't realize this. Every time I've watched the show back, I've skipped the series finale because I knew it would make me super sad. And that's what it did this time. It's very, very nostalgic for the times. It I liked that the cast members did know that this was the final season for them
Yeah.
because it brought out the emotion and everything, and everyone soaked everything in for the last time. We even had one final Ron and Sam fight in the final episode. So
Really brought
I'm not.
everything together.
Yeah, it really did. And unlike How I Met Your Mother, this was a pretty good series finale. And do you want to get into the discussion of what my thoughts were on the season already?
Yeah.
I don't think the show should have ended.
I have a counter argument, but let's hear all your reasons first.
So, if we look at the Kardashians empire, keeping up with the Kardashians has been on for over a decade now. I don't know how many years exactly, but it's been a very long time. I think that you could have done a reality television show about the Jersey Shore cast, like they're doing right now with Family Vacation, where it's just following them around and they're just living life. There was a couple of spin-off series. There was one with Snooki and JWoww that was going on during the last season. I think it happened right before. There
Yeah.
was something
It was
called the
in
Polly.
between it was in between season 5 and season 6. They recorded it over the winter. Um they both moved into an apartment together in Jersey City. It flopped
It got
hard.
renewed for a second season though.
Did they? I don't think they ever aired second season, did they?
I don't know. I'd have to look that up. There was a Polly D project. I don't know how that did. And I think there was another one. But I think the thing is with this cast, they are an ensemble piece. They work best together.
Yeah.
And I think that the show didn't tail off in terms of quality. The worst season is actually season 5. It's not season 6. Season 6 is good. It season 4 is the Italy season. Season 5 is the season back in Jersey, where you can tell they're kind of tired and they're not really. It's not quite as
They were
vibrant and as
running out of
energetic.
fuel.
Yeah,
Like they
exactly.
just didn't have the energy, I don't think.
Yeah, and then you come back for season 6, and this is a season in which Mike, the situation is sober for the first time, and Snooki is pregnant, and it's still a banger.
Yeah.
I don't see the reason why you needed to end the show. I think that you could have turned it into what Family Vacation is already, and it would have been perfectly successful. That's my viewpoint of it. I also don't think that the final season of Jersey Shore should have had a pregnant Snooki. I feel like you could have gone one more season after this one, so that it can be more so like the Jersey Shore everyone knew and loved. It was kind of disappointing not seeing Snooki around that often, unless she was hanging out with Gianni, getting dinner, and crying about him not being there that often. You know. So that's my viewpoint of it. What about you?
I also just remembered I lied what I just said. I do think they had the second season because I remember either that or they did something special for Snooki when she had the baby. Because I remember them setting up her. They lived in like Gianni's either Snooki's parents' basement or Gianni's parents' basement for a while, which always just kind of blew my mind because you had to have good money.
especially at that point.
Yeah, like, I mean, but whatever. Maybe they did it more for the family's help to rate, like, when the new baby came in, but
Probably.
I remember her, like, being pregnant in the basement, then having the baby and whatnot. Um, so I apologize to everyone who's here for lying to you like that. But my counter argument is the fact that I think the cameras were taking a toll on a lot of people's life. At least with at least with what Jersey Shore was, of them having to move into a house together. Now, do I agree that they could have done something that was more of a reality TV show esque, where they had cameras follow them around? I think that would have worked. But the fact that, look at what Roger and Jenny argue about this season. Roger says, "We don't live together." Jenny goes, "We have a house. We live together." He goes, "No, you move away every couple months to go live with your friends for a couple months. So I don't live with you. They live with you more than I do." That was taking a toll. I think all this was kind of taking a toll on Dina. I don't think it was just her being away from her boyfriend this season. I think it was, I don't know. I think there was a lot going on with Dina, but
Yeah, I don't think because if you look back at the 3 previous seasons, Dina's fine with living away. It seems to me that she's very maybe she was a little insecure, maybe something like that was happening, but I mean, she was doing fine the previous seasons, and all of
yeah.
a sudden she gets a boyfriend, and now she's like, "Oh my god, I miss him so much. I love him. I'm crying all the time." And also, I think her not having Nicole to go party with and stuff
Mm-hmm.
took a toll a little bit. So there was probably a lot of loneliness there.
All
But
right. Yeah, you might be right. Um, but then the thing with Mike, right? So my reason for Mike, I don't think it would be healthy if the show continued for him, which ended up not being healthy anyway, right? So we know that Mike relapses after this season some point. Um and I think if he was still filming the show, that relapse would have been worse. Just from the pressure of things, feeling you have to entertain almost, like, just being on camera, going through that relapse on camera wouldn't have been good for his mental health. And the reason I say that is, think about it, what happened in Family Vacation. This is obviously, if you haven't watched Family Vacation, spoiler, it was also in the news, but Ronnie and all his baby mama drama that went on. Do you really think it was healthy for him to also be on the show during that? And having, now it has to be filmed and then people talk about it after it's already over? Because they filmed the show, right? Everything happened. Then the show comes out and it gets brought up again, right? That can't be too healthy for your mental state. So I just think for the mental health of these people, I think it was good because now they do have the shows. They have Family Vacation, right? Which especially now has turned more into a reality-esque TV show. They did
and
have
by that you mean like a standard one where they follow the people around.
yes, like yeah. They have the spin-offs of they had the
But
Snooki Jenny spin-off. They now have the Looking for Love thing for Paulie and Vinny.
a double shot of love.
Yeah. So they had those couple of spin-offs. To be honest, if they gave Mike and Lawrence a spin-off at this moment, I think it would work. But they have a
They have their own YouTube
podcast.
channel.
Yeah, they have a YouTube channel that they do vlogs and stuff. They have a podcast. So, like, I think we, especially with this reality-esque TV show thing, I don't think you really need it anymore. Like, because you have these other access into people's lives. I mean, is it good? Yeah. But there's other outlets.
Yeah, I personally don't think it's the same. I think also the bag is definitely not the same
Oh, yeah.
in regards to TV.
Actually, I wonder, right?
Yeah, it's not.
You think?
Because YouTube, especially if it's YouTube based, YouTube ad revenue is in the pooper right now
But the
because
thing
of
is,
COVID.
even with those things, most people have ad reads
But
to get
again,
that money on
that
top of
stuff
it.
that stuff is now decreased. Not as many companies are doing ad reads now because not as many people are spending money in general.
Oh, you mean at this very moment? That's like, yeah, but I
Yeah,
mean, in
no,
general,
but like that matters even for the next year or two. We don't know how long this is going to go on.
that's true.
And YouTube has gone. There's been a couple moments throughout the past 5 years, even where there was an adpocalypse on YouTube where people were barely making any money.
Yeah.
So it really does depend. But we can agree to disagree there.
Shout out Spotify,
Yeah.
changing up the game.
Although I've heard some interesting stuff about that. We can
Yeah.
talk about off camera. So we mentioned Mike. We mentioned him being sober,
Mm-hmm.
and I would like to get into the MVP of the season discussion now.
Yeah.
For me, it is Mike the situation.
Yeah, he puts an M in MVP.
Yeah, the comeback performance. He was both of our MVP in season 1, and I don't think he's been an MVP since then.
No.
For either.
He starts the show and he ends the show strong. Both, ironically, when he comes in sober at the beginning of both those seasons. Because he said, I don't think I've driven over this bridge sober since season 1. At the beginning of the season, he states that, and it's just like one of those things that's like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a 3-year run or 4-year run where
he's just
partying. Yeah, and you would expect, I think, going into a show, seeing a party animal go sober, he'd be a little bit less interesting. He is more entertaining sober than he is when he's not.
I think he's wittier.
Way wittier. He's so funny. It's awesome. I mean, he's still like doing the whole girl thing, but it's a little bit funnier because now he's lifting up his shirt in a club sober. He knows what he's doing and he's still doing it. All the stuff is great. His interactions with Paula, his interactions with the roommates, him trying to win everyone over. I think he was awesome this season. There's a couple moments where it's like, ooh, you're a bit of a scuzz.
Yeah. He definitely gets a little scuzzy here, but it's still super entertaining.
Well, what they call him, a sneaky Dickens?
I think so.
Yeah, he's a
well.
Sneaky
That's
Dickens.
one of the things that I have written down. I don't have. See, the thing is, this season it was weird because I don't have too many notes about the season.
Neither do I.
For the fact that like there was things to talk about, and it's weird because you would equate like not too many notes with it not being entertaining, but that's not the case. Like it just felt like maybe I was more just into like watching it and enjoying these last moments, and I was like not thinking about writing these things down. Maybe it's been this 6-season run where I'm just getting tired of taking notes. But it was just one of those things that he had some of the cringy moments of the season, but all those cringy moments were still a lot more entertaining than a lot of the things we saw the other roommates.
Yeah, I mean, it seems as though because he throughout this last season is going through a little bit of personal life change. He's trying to see if he wants a girlfriend. He's chalking things up. There's a lot of just really a lot of the seasons about him. Paul and Vinny, they're doing their thing. You have Dina going through all the stuff that she's going through. I considered her being the MVP of the season because she delivered a lot of big moments. Jenny, no contest wasn't in the running. Snooki isn't around enough. Ron and Sam are, it's like it has to be Mike, and rightfully so, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The short father.
It's funny because you said Dina maybe in the running, which is weird because if you had to argue a number 2 this season, who would it be Dina? Because I think I would have maybe someone else.
For my number 2 of the season, see, I think Mike just kind of runs away with it because no one else is doing it enough of anything.
So my only other argument might be Vinny.
Yeah?
I just feel like he had a couple events here and there with like the lesbians, trying to get with lesbians again.
Wait. Lesbians?
Or not maybe it was the lesbians the last season?
Last season. This season he
tries to do a threesome, yeah.
He also does the celibacy thing.
The celibacy thing, yeah. I mean, obviously him and Paulie are both within the prank for the Dina picture thing.
Yeah, that was good.
Which was good. Um, he has that drama with Gianni that gets brought in a little bit.
Okay.
So like that was kind of entertaining to watch and see happen. Him and Nicole when they're doing the scooter thing, I thought that
Yeah.
was funny. Um, so there was those moments, but obviously it's still hard because then you get Dina where she has the meatball tryouts. Um, she gets
She,
arrested.
she gets arrested. Yeah.
Um,
Also, you can't agree with me right now because you are waifued up. Dina looking fine this season. I mean, dang. Good for her. Shout out her trainer and shout out her dentist.
Yo, shout out all their trainers, by the way. Like, kind of, like, I mean, they all, like, they put their money where into like making themselves look better.
Yeah,
You
big
could
time.
tell from
You could
season
tell
one,
with Snooki after in the reunion episode for this
bro. But
season.
like, that's the thing with Mike. Going back to Mike, dude's yoked this season. His
Huge.
arms, he's got some guns on him, dude. Um, as he said, um, was that this season where he says, "Watch out, dude, I'm on probation."
No, no, no. That's in Family Vacation.
Ah, damn. Cause it's oh yeah, that makes sense. But that's so funny. Cause
I know.
but the dude's looking good. I mean, I think he's looking better this season than he eventually does in Family Vacations.
Well, yeah, because you got to imagine he's still young. He's in his early 30s
Yeah.
in this season, whereas in Family Vacation he's late 30s, maybe 40 by now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's got to be expected. And we've gushed over Mike quite a bit here. My least likable award.
Ooh.
This was a bit of a
Ooh.
toss up for me.
Ooh.
I
Ooh.
mentioned Dina being in the running for my MVP. There's also a case to be made for her being the least likable this season as well.
Mm-hmm.
All the crying,
Mm-hmm.
her being annoyed at the roommates for telling her how it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ron was in the running just for what he did in the last episode where he was screaming at Sam for a prank return. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, calm down, dude. But my winner for the least likable of the season is a first time winner. First time winner for any award for me on this series. It's JWoww.
Interesting.
Yeah. Her her fight with Roger was unfortunate. Her saying my thing is I've had sprained ankles. I'm dealing with an injury right now that's much worse than a sprained ankle. For her to say that I think I have a broken foot when you have a sprained ankle is really
Well, look, the way the doctor
odd.
worded it though was said it might be broken.
Sure, but like she's walking around, and this might be the editing. The episode she goes to the orthopedic surgeon, and he confirms that it's not broken. She's walking around no weight on her foot at all, and then after that she's walking around on it fine.
Well, it's a mental thing. But like
Sure,
you can't admit that like your brain does that.
sure, yeah.
I don't know.
There's her kind of blowing up on Gianni for no reason, but I found kind of cringe.
Well, okay, so I don't think. I mean, I think she was doing what was in the best interest for Snooki. Do you really think Johnny was around a lot? He said he was,
He,
but you don't see it.
we also don't see Snooki a lot.
But Snooki, you do. You see her almost every day there. You see that she's
Well,
out of the apartment, that she comes over to the house. And now, obviously, she's not doing things with everyone else necessarily. But you also don't see. She says that she only sees him on the weekends. And then when he wasn't there that one weekend to go to the UFC fight, she's super upset because she's not seeing him for 2 weeks. So you know he's not there. So
well, no,
he goes to her and defends himself by saying, "Well, you don't know if I'm here." And it's like, well, we kind of do.
well, no. He also said that he was there every weekend, and the guy's got his own business. He can't go there he can't travel an hour and a half every night to go visit his girlfriend.
I mean, you could. I get like it not, but people commute 2 hours to work, so I don't get that reason necessarily, especially when she's pregnant, right? That's my
But here's
main
my
thing.
counter argument though. That's fine. You're saying that you can commute 2 hours to work every day. That's under the assumption he's not already commuting to work to do his stuff with his ATMs.
That's a good point.
So now you want him to go to work because he has a job full time. He's an owner of ATMs.
Listen. He has a job. He's an owner of ATMs. The way he words it, he says, "Yeah, it's kind of doing well." When he talks about it later in the season with the boys, I don't think that money would be enough to support a family.
We don't know that.
The way he worded it and the way I took it, it didn't seem like it. Which means the person you got knocked up who's on this TV show that you only see maybe once a weekend is the breadwinner for the family at this moment. You could go see her, maybe stop. I'm just making the argument for maybe taking a trip in the middle of the week once in a while. Like, come down. I'm not saying he has to be there every night.
Would you?
But if my fiance was pregnant and was only an hour and a half away, I definitely would. Without a doubt. Kyle,
even if she was voluntarily, she did this. She wanted to go. To the shore house. I get it. I don't see it. We don't know what his work hours are. I'm just throwing that out there.
I understand all that, but like,
you're kind of making the assumption that his business is doing poorly.
He states that, dude. I want to find the clip. I mean, let me Google it, but I don't know. So start talking. Because
we'll be right back. We'll be right back. I'm gonna have you edit. I've just heard the ATM bit.
Okay.
He does not say it's doing okay. He said it's expanding.
It's expanding. I'm getting opportunities all the time. That doesn't sound like it's doing great. Like that you're making all this huge profit. What? I just don't see it.
What
I don't see it.
Are you living on?
I don't see it. The way he talks about it is almost like I'm not giving a lot of detail.
What? John, you gotta be kidding me.
I'm not, dude. I'm 100%. Look, think about it psychology-wise, right? If your business is doing well, you're gonna elaborate. There was no. It's just human nature.
No,
you talk
real
about
gangsters
what you know.
Move in silence.
Bullshit! He's a real gangster.
Johnny's kind of a gangster, bro.
They eventually live in his mom's basement, bruh.
Dude, who cares? It's for him.
I'm just saying. And then during that, do you ever hear him talk about this business again?
It's not his show. Why would he?
I'm just saying. I don't think. I'm just from this. The general thing I got.
Assumptions, brother.
I might be, but you're also making an assumption that it's doing well. That it's enough to support.
Hey man, so I have Geeks Weekly. If it's starting to grow, and it's expanding, I consider that a win.
But wouldn't you say, going from before it being monetized, right? Mm-hmm. Geeks Weekly, you could say it's growing and expanding. That doesn't mean you're turning a profit. That doesn't mean you're making money to live on.
You could say that at any point.
I know, but I'm just saying those two words are so generalized that you can't assume that he's also living off of it. Because he's living at home. He mentioned living at home.
Then neither one of us can make an assumption then.
Sure I can. And you can make yours. But I'm just making the argument.
What are we doing? Then this argument's over. Well, who's your winner for least likable?
Well, no, listen. This argument's not over. Because the thing is, the original statement was, why can't he be at the shore more than once a week?
Well, no. Over the weekend.
Okay, but he's there once over the weekend.
Well, he spends Saturday into Sunday, right?
Okay, yeah. But I'm just saying, what Jenny said to him, which is going back full circle. You're saying Jenny most unlikable because this is one of the reasons for calling him out.
One of.
And I said, I thought it was justified because think about it, right? This is your friend. She's pregnant. All you hear from her is that she misses her fiance. Mm-hmm. She doesn't see him. And he's not there a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Then you go, well, yeah, I don't see him during the week. Why can't you be down here more? Why can't you she didn't say you have to be here all the time. Just be here a little more. And he doesn't. I
Well,
don't
then,
think he necessarily really defends himself on it either. He just goes to Nicole like, "Oh, did you
no,
want me
he.
here
What
more?"
do you mean? He talks directly to Jenny and is like, "I'm here. I'm here. What are you talking about?"
He
And
that's
Jenny backs off.
But that's what he says. He says, I'm here." But then I don't get it for the fact that like now obviously there might be stuff we don't see. I'm confused by the fact that they make it seem like he's not there during the week, and then
Mm.
Jenny does back off. I think Jenny backs off because she's just like, well, this isn't my fight. I'm not gonna go into it. I'm not gonna get more heated about it. It's not my life.
Since when does Jenny ever back off of a fight?
She does. She always actually concedes at the end when she gets pushed to the point where she's like, I'm not gonna win this. She concedes every time, even with this fight with Roger. She concedes.
Well, no, she had to concede.
But that's what I'm saying. She always concedes. She always goes. She always admits at the very end that okay, yeah, I think you're right.
Well, that's 2 times. She didn't do that with Ron or Sam.
She
She
she did it with a previous fight with Roger in one of the other seasons.
yeah, because she was wrong.
But that's what I'm saying. Like she does. She concedes.
So you're saying that she could be wrong in this case?
She could be, but we don't see. But don't you think they would have showed him here more often too? Like, why not?
Because what if it's not interesting?
How is it not interesting? They go to the dinner one time and they record it.
Yeah, was that
And it's
that
on
fun
the
to
show.
watch?
But you
Wasn't
don't
for me.
think you don't think that they would show him at all throughout the week.
Well,
They
no,
would
'cause
see him
if-
ever. Because you
if-
see
if-
Snooki.
yeah, and it's not fun to watch Snooki this season.
I thought it was fine. It's reality
Fine.
TV.
Fine,
But it's reality TV.
sure,
It's reality.
but if it's not fun, I'm not putting it in. We don't know how much footage that they left on the cutting room floor.
That's true. But also, I think the fact that you have to take it for what Snooki says, right? We have facts of her saying he's not there a lot, that she only sees him. And then she literally says, with the fact that when Gianni goes to UFC, I'm not going to see him for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
That's
so
a long, long time to not
I
see
understand.
That's my only argument. Now look at it from Jenny's perspective. If it was your best friend and their significant other wasn't there, you wouldn't maybe. Now I know you personally, you don't do these things. So, but if you were Jenny, right? This personality that she is, argumentative, fierce, right? You don't think you would say something?
Sure.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, is it unlikable of her to do it? I don't think so. I think she's justified. She's having her girls back.
So who's your winner for the least likable award?
It is Dina. She was
Gone.
pissy and moany for more than half the season about nothing. About being happy with someone.
Well, okay, so hold on.
That's what I'm
Let's
getting at.
No, now I'm jumping in yo ass.
All right.
So you had just said at the beginning of this recording that this show might have been taking a toll on Dina's mental health.
Yes.
How can you then say that makes her unlikable if it's
Because
a mental
it
health
was
issue?
annoying the whole time.
Yes.
Was Vinny pissy and moany? No, Vinny said Vinny went and I said I'm gonna take a leave then. They tell Dina, okay then Dina, why don't you go home? And she doesn't ever leave. She just cries. I think it was taking a toll on her mental health from a drinking standpoint. Right? She kept going and getting drunk. She got arrested, said I'm not gonna drink much anymore, would get sloppy drunk after that.
I think that was entertaining.
It was entertaining, but I also think it was annoying that you always had to deal with her crying and then everyone trying to console her. I don't know. That annoyed me.
Didn't annoy me much this season.
I think maybe
but
because
fair
I've had to deal with people in that situation, so it was kind of like one of those things. Like, just people getting sloppy drunk and then, like, them crying and whatnot. So maybe that's why I was like, damn, she's an annoying person in this situation. But I also could see JWoww being in that spot. I think it's almost, they're both annoying this season. I just
So
think
you argued with me for 5 minutes straight.
I just think that one time was justified. Do you not think it was justified to call out the dude? That's all I was saying.
Dude, you are such an asshole.
I'm editing that clip in there, by the way.
Oh
I'm
my
putting in
God.
Gianni talk about it so our listeners could decide.
Whew, that was awesome. Good Lord.
Yo,
What
makes
a scumbag. All right, so John, moving on. I just knocked my microphone over. Oh my gosh. Your that's cringe moment of the season.
Mike and his relationship. The whole thing is cringe.
Yeah, I have a very specific moment as my that's cringe from his relationship. The night in which Paula dresses up,
Oh,
goes to the
yes.
club to show Mike what he's missing out
With
on,
the skin tight dress.
sees him hitting on someone, and then slaps him in the face. Or no, not slaps him in the face. I'm sorry. Hits him in
She
the arm and
confronts
is
him,
like,
yeah. Like, what are you doing?
ugh, oof, tough to watch. Really tough to watch.
Yeah. I mean, it the whole relationship was just teenager-esque.
Yeah, I mean, Mike said that he hasn't had a girlfriend in probably since Lauren's.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
And the reason I think this whole relationship was just silly, right? Silly. It's just a silly relationship. Was the fact that when he asked her to make it official, he makes a shirt. Everyone makes fun of Paula because they don't know if she could read it. They make fun of her note later on, and I'm just like, are these two kids still back in high school?
Might as well.
Like, when she gets the payback at the end, what does she do? She has someone put his balls on the cake. That's like,
dude,
it's hilarious.
dude, it's so funny.
It's so funny. Ronnie had the biggest right to laugh at that because it is so funny. And then Mike gets mad at the end, and I wonder if this is almost scripted because it's one of those moments that it feels like it has to be almost where he's on the phone and she does the like, what? I can't hear you thing, and then he stomps out the duck phone.
I don't, dude. If
And he goes,
ate
lost
someone's-
connection. Like, it just seems too good to be true, almost, in that moment.
if you if you ate someone's ball sack, I think you'd be pretty upset.
Yes.
Did you see Paulie's face? I've never seen Paulie get mad like that before. And he's like, "That's the biggest piece of ish I've ever seen in my life."
He goes, let's go pee on our car door handles.
Oh my gosh. Dina eating it like
But that whole relationship was so just cringe because
yeah.
he makes it official, then immediately goes to a club like the next night and dances with girls.
Yeah, that was rough. Should have done it.
Right away, she starts talking about babies.
That had to have been edited weirdly, right?
It was the same dinner, at least,
No,
which is still extreme.
It was, but like, what could have led the conversation there?
I'm talking about the future, maybe?
I mean, dang.
I don't know.
But also, one of the funnier things that I'm going to be using from now on is the chalking it up. That came from the relationship, so I'm very thankful for that. Also, we got a lot of Mike doing what I can only describe as Neo, the R&B singer, his type of wearing a hat on the corner of your head.
I don't get these because it was never a good look in culture, I don't think. Especially in 2012.
Maybe it was, we just weren't paying attention to it.
No. We were high school kids, right? You, especially, were keyed in to culture in that moment.
Yeah, I wasn't doing my hat like that.
No one was doing it. That's what I'm
up.
saying. Like, and this goes back to the casting, right? Original episode 1 that we did on this for season 1. The casting on this is phenomenal because after this, maybe you could say, oh, well, he was on drugs. He doesn't know necessarily. That's why he has that irrational confidence. He's sober now and has the most irrational confidence. Like,
yeah, he talks about himself a lot.
Dude, the biggest, like, I wish if you had a third of his confidence, I think a lot of people would be like, that's a lot of fucking confidence.
I'd be a millionaire by now if I had a third of his confidence.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he has his own style, embraces it. Ed Hardy became a thing strictly because of these people. And do you ever agree? Can we agree? Ed Hardy should have never been a thing?
No, that and Affliction Tees.
Right? That's all I'm saying. That company went out of business. And I wonder why. Maybe because Jersey Shore went off the air. Maybe if Jersey Shore continued, Affliction would still be in business. Maybe they would. Damn. Yo, poor Jersey Shore. They ruined Affliction, dude.
Maybe that was a good thing. So, you mentioned the nut cake. I think we should transition to funny moments. That is my winner for the funny moments of the season. I laughed out loud
Yeah,
during that scene.
that was by far. Um, I really enjoyed the prank of Vinny and Polly redoing Dina's pictures.
That
And
was really funny, even though it was a
and
very simple prank.
and they baited us, right? Because all the previews leading up to that, it made it seem that Dina got upset. Showed Dina getting upset, and I thought that it was from that because they would show the preview of them like we're gonna do the prank,
Oh, yeah.
and then they would show Dina being like, "No, you just don't understand." And I thought she's wearing the same outfit. I
Yeah.
thought that's what it was. It was just super later that night. But I thought that's what it was, and I was like, "Damn, bro!" Like, she takes that prank that hard. What she ends up not, she laughs about it. It's hilarious because they mimic the pictures in a photo booth, so they replace all of them with the mimic pictures. I think that prank was great. The Mike stripping
Mike Stripping is a contender
that
as
was
well.
also cringe a little bit, just because I was like, whew. Ugh.
Little cringe, but
It was hilarious that they all went in on it. They set up the house for it. That was funny. Do you think behind the scenes they had help with some of this stuff, like a production staff, or do you think they actually did all this themselves?
No, I mean, well,
Like the barbecue, like you see them carrying stuff, but
they had to have.
they had to have help, right? Like, I ain't setting up all that. I'm making millions off a TV show.
Another funny moment for me was Vinny and Snooki riding their scooters around, especially into the club. That was awesome.
That was great. The fact that the bouncers literally picked them up by the scooter to put them in the club. They don't get off, which is like, you can't get off the scooter. I thought that was hilarious. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of good moments this season.
Yeah, I mean, overall, season 6 is in my opinion a really good one. It's still a banger. Would you be able to rank your seasons in terms of favorite to least favorite?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So obviously I'm gonna say season 1, season 2. Very, as we discussed already, they're very interchangeable. I mean, I concede it with you. Then season 3.
Oh, okay.
I'd say season 1, season 2, season 3, right? Then probably I'd probably go 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 5.
Okay.
If not 1, 2, 3, 6, 4, 5.
That's right. I thought you were.
That's the hard part, right? Because it's like we did watch a lot of Jersey Shore in between season 4 and season 6, so that original memories of it kind of subsided. But let me go look at my notes real quick.
While you do that, I'm gonna rank mine.
Yeah.
I have 2, 1, 3, 5, 4. Oh no, 3, 6, 4, 5.
All right. Yeah, but we both agree that 2 and 1 are up top.
Yes. Then 3.
Then 3, right? So 2, 1, 3, peak, right?
Yeah.
And then it's just kind of 4 and 6 are so good, but for different reasons.
Yeah. 4 is
So
the
good
most
for different
dramatic by far.
Most dramatic. And this one, I think there is something to say that it's the last season. You get that closure. There's one thing I wanted to say about Mike earlier was he has a huge character arc, right? Huge character arc.
I said when we started this review series that Mike's situation is the Darth Vader of the Jersey Shore.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a full character arc of Vader. Turns to the dark side. Around episode 4 or season 4 is when he's hitting the peak. Vader like killing younglings, really dark stuff. Season 6 is kind of like episode 6.
Yeah.
He redeems himself, returns to the light side, brings balance to the shore house. Excellent stuff.
It was it's amazing to see. And once again, bravo to everyone who produced this show. It was truly amazing. and just all the way up until the ending, right? You have this, especially watching it for us, I think, in 6 weeks, basically.
Yeah.
Um, it really made you feel it, dude. Like that last scene where they're hugging in the street, like they're all crying because they realize that they went from kids who had to work, right? They partied, but they had to work. They all were going towards a job. Snooki wanted to be a vet. Um, Vinny went to college, and now they don't have to do any of that. None of them, except for Angelina. But none of them have to do any of that because now they have other opportunities. They made money off of this show. They're famous, right? Um, and you just see it hit them. Like they look at this house that who thinks this house would change your life, type of thing. And that's
To
so
that
powerful.
extent.
That's so powerful because JWoww said it. She's like, after season 1, I thought I ruined my life. She's like, I
Well,
didn't think.
yeah.
She was like, I thought I left the house in season 1 thinking, what did I just do? I ruined my life. Which is very reasonable thought. Before it aired, that, like, think about how tense it had to be, right? You leave the house and you're waiting for it to air, going like, what are people gonna think of this show? Because you're getting, I remember briefly. I remember it got hate before it released. Like people hated on it.
I can't speak to that because I was 2 weeks late to the party with the show.
Yeah. I just remember like hearing about the show, but the original things I heard about it was how dumb it was. Like it's so stupid. Like they're not even from Jersey, blah blah blah. Like all the hate about it. Now obviously it's probably because we're from Jersey, right? But it like that's what I heard about it, and then you watch it, and then it became this, like we talked about, a cultural phenomenon. It took over. You see it, especially in these seasons. You see in this season. You go to the Shore Store. When the camera's looking out, you just see lines of people. They're anywhere. You look out to the street, lines of people just trying to take pictures of them filming. Like they're eating dinner, lines of people. Like
this season, you really see the security guards.
Yeah, yeah. And I talked to you about and you see production. They just gave up on trying to hide some production staff every now and again. One of the bamboo fight this season, you clearly see a production person like just kind of trying to figure out where to move in the club. Because think about those logistics of trying to film a reality TV show in a packed club.
Oh yeah.
Because they didn't keep people out. The fact that I told you in the season, there's the one frame where Rivoli's, they have on the neon sign it says Ron Juice. Like they're advertising things from this. So like, not only that's one thing that I think people from not from Jersey kind of have to realize. Seaside's not the nicest beach area in the Jersey Shore. It's where like it was kind of trash. Like I don't know, the beaches aren't the nicest beaches. The boardwalk I wouldn't say is the best boardwalk. It's kind of sketch. Like, and this puts Seaside on the map. Like that's the thing. This show changed so much over these 6 seasons, and that's why I think we both, obviously we've said it multiple times, best reality TV show to ever do it.
In our opinions. Yeah. No,
I'll fist fight someone.
I think you look at the fact that this is MTV's highest rated show of all time. It has a successful, I guess, sort of sequel series 10 years later. And now I'm going to religiously watch it after watching these last 6 seasons. I've found this is why I try to not watch a show as often as we had to in the 6-week span, because I enjoy these people so much. I find them so entertaining that I find myself wanting more.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after the sad ending of them knowing, all right, this is the last episode, we're done. Although, one can say it's going to be a little hard to do the show now without Snooki going forward, but we'll see how that goes. And, I mean, who knows if they can do the show anyways because of COVID. Zoom club sessions. That's what's going to have to happen from now on. But Yeah, I think the show it had a long lasting impact on Jersey. Again, it's at the culture. We said this a million times. It's at the culture for us in high school. We still use some of the phrases nowadays. We reviewed The Circle a couple months ago now, and Joey, who was our favorite person from that show, used terminology from the Jersey Shore. He said,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah, buddy." So like that stuff matters. It was cultural.
Yeah.
Like it was a cultural landmark of a show. It's incredible. If I had to give Jersey Shore the series a rating, it would be a 10 out of 10 without question. I think it's incredible. If you're someone who just is tired of all the depressing stuff that's going on right now, this is a show to watch to bring your spirits up, to have a laugh, and just shut off your brain and just be entertained.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and as you said earlier, though, like with them, they should have continued the original seasons. You said it; they could have done it in a more um,
Like a
basic reality
typical
esque.
reality
Yeah,
television
I think
sense.
that's what they should do now. Kind of like,
I agree.
do you care about now that they're adults, like older adults, seeing them go to the club anymore? No,
No,
I want to see Mike and Lauren's relationship.
I want
I
to see
care about
Snooki
that
and Gianni.
because also the people that originally watched it also grew up and are now in different points of their life, right? As I said in previous episodes, it's interesting rewatching this because now I'm looking at it through a different lens. When I was in high school, I was like, this is how you party? This is crazy. Where now I'm like, their relationships are screwed up. Like, I look at it from just a completely different mindset. And I think with that, I want to see different parts of their life. I'm curious, if I wasn't a podcastaholic, like I would want to like dabble in Mike and Lauren's podcast, get more of their content, like watch some of their YouTube stuff. Um and it's just they they're so intriguing. It that like you want all these extra little bits and pieces. I just want to know about their life. How is Paulie's DJing going? Is he still super successful in Las Vegas? Um what is going on that him and Vinny can't find relationships? Is it they really don't want one? Like I would like to see more of that, but I don't think they need spin-offs. Just make that all into one show. Do
I
they
agree.
need to be constantly being around each other? Not necessarily, but just piece it together where you get little stories from this person's life, little stories, and then maybe once in a while you have them come together,
Yeah,
right?
like a once a
Maybe a
month thing at
weekend
least.
away,
You know.
maybe yeah, a dinner like where you give them time away from each other. The producers could obviously ask them like, "Oh, did you hear so and so did this?" Get reactions, right? Um, I just think it like the fact that everyone around them has grown up. Show that, show that they've grown up. I think it's very interesting. I'm curious about Ronnie's situation now, especially after what happened in the beginning of Family Vacation, all his drama, right? Like,
And now he's sober.
yeah. So it's so intriguing. Um, but I'm also excited to watch Family Vacation after watching all this. It's very I low key I need to see how long these seasons are. I low key want to watch this Snooki JWoww spinoff just to get like a taste of what it is.
Really, I don't know where you'd even find it, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't even know what it's called.
I mean, if you Google Snooki and
Yeah,
JWoww spinoff, you're gonna find it. But
yeah, but it's just like there's so many things that I'm just curious about now, and it just holds to the fact that this show was that great.
yeah, for
That
sure.
like you care about these people this much. But amazing. Truly
Yeah.
amazing.
Now, John, I'm not entirely sure what we're gonna get into on the next podcast. I'm not also
Especially now.
sure.
Screw you, Fortnite.
Yeah, I mean, real quick, just for some
Back
good
to our
old
normal podcast.
Gorilla and the Geek topics. I mean, Fortnite has delayed their season three times now. Maybe third
Maybe
time's the
that's what
charm.
we'll talk about next week. Let you get out your frustration on camera.
Yeah,
Because Kyle, if Kyle could shoot steam out of his ears, his smoke detectors would go off. That's how pissed he is.
yeah. Well, are we? Do we even know? Are we doing bi-weekly again? Or are we going weekly now?
I have no idea.
So
That's
all this
something we
stuff is
need
in
to talk
flux.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah. If we
we
do
don't know.
bi-weekly, maybe we will. Maybe we'll do just shorter versions.
Well, what we could do, if you'd like, I know that you mentioned wanting to watch, and we're talking about this on camera, so
Don't.
so
This
be
is
it.
what podcasting is.
So the Bruce Lee documentary 30 for 30 comes out tonight.
Ooh.
I'm recording it because I want to watch it.
Yeah.
If you think it's interesting enough to talk about, we can talk about this next weekend.
That I like that.
So
That works.
be on the lookout for that next week.
Yeah, obviously, as always, Kyle, where can the people find you to see what we are up to?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Buff Charmander. You can find me on YouTube, Geeks Weekly. We passed 200 subscribers. I'm not sure if I said that last time that we had an episode. We're growing, much like Gianni's business back in 2012. We're growing, baby. We're expanding. Hopefully, we get to the point where we can support our pregnant fiancés.
Wait, what?
And
Pregnant fiancés, Kyle.
well, life happens. And you
Quarantine's
can
been
find me
wild.
on a podcast feed, Geeks Weekly as well. I have a new Sweaty Dive review podcast coming out on Wednesday regarding Batman Begins. Very excited about that. KG and I recorded that yesterday. And we also are going to be posting snippets of that on the YouTube channel. So be on the lookout for all that stuff. John, where can the people find you?
As always, you can find me with my streaming, my video games, mixer.com/Ginger Gorilla. YouTube, if you're not listening there or watching there already, Ginger Gorilla Gaming. Twitter, Ginger Gorilla. Instagram, Ginger Gorilla Gaming. Search Ginger Gorilla. Look for that logo, right? Now, here's the thing, too. We did get I saw new viewers on these Jersey Shore videos. And if you are one of them and you've made it this deep into this video, and you're new and you haven't seen some of our old stuff and just like the fact that we talk about shows this deep and think, hey, I want to see these people watch more shows, maybe a certain show in your mind, and talk about that one, let us know. If we get requests for things, I think we'll both be open to trying it out.
Big time.
Because it's a lot of fun. One thing I love is watching a good show and then getting sweaty about it. Even if it's a stupid reality TV show, like whatever. I don't know. It's fun diving into it and kind of breaking it down. Having that conversation, and just even listening to the conversation is fun. So, if you have any ideas for us, be sure to either tweet at me or Kyle, message us, leave it in the comments of one of these videos. Whatever way you want to contact us, let us know. As always, all the links are going to be down below in the description section, either the YouTube video or the podcast feed for this episode. You can find all our links. I am, once again, going to put the Black Lives Matter links in there just to keep supporting. If you haven't clicked it on the last video, make sure you do that. And with that said, I think that's all we got for this episode.
Yes, thank you all very much for watching and or listening. I've been Kyle from Geeks Weekly, joined by John the Ginger Gorilla. And we will see you again next time.
Peace out, everyone.